welcome back to the Lichen Project with Heather. Today I'm a bit late to finishing and posting this, so I'm sorry. This is going to be my January wrap up. So in January I read 7 books. However, only 2 of them were actually on my TBR shows. So I will start with 3 of them were actually on my January TBR. So first one I finished, so my first read of 2020 was The Girl in Red, which is by Christina Herny, and I gave this 4 stars. So I enjoyed it. We follow a mixed race amputee as she goes through leaving her house to go to her grandmother's house after after an apocalyptic event. So I quite enjoyed it. It has representation, as I said, it has racial diversity in it because the main character is biracial and also has disabilities because she is an amputee. And the story does remind you a fair few times about it, but it is done in a way that it's necessary, and it is a part that is quite going to defines her through the story because she's going on a hike because she's lost one of her legs. So the amount of times you're reminded that she is an amputee is reasonable in this. So I gave this 4 stars. I highly recommend it. So if you're also looking for a nice read, it is a retelling of The Little Red Riding Hood for Black History Month. So I would recommend this if you still want another book. And then I went on to an audiobook by an Australian author called Leigh, which is An Ordinary Day. So in 2015 there was a hostage situation in a cafe here in Australia, in Sydney, and so I'll put a picture up of it. So it's a essay sort of investigation, because she's a journalist, of resilience and how to live after the worst days of your life. So she follows that through. So that's good. I gave that 4 stars. And then I moved on to rereading a friend's favourite, which was Peter Pan, which I'm assuming most people know. So basically Peter Pan takes 3 children called the Darling children off to a place called Neverland, where you meet Captain Hook and his people and the Indians and the mermaids. So it's a classic by J.M. Barrie. I gave this 4 stars again after my reread. I then went on to the audiobook of The Restless Girls by Jessie Barton, which is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. I enjoyed it. It was quite lovely, and it also had a bit of a feminist twist on it. So that I gave 5 stars to. That's a middle grade story. I then read the first 2 volumes I got those out from the library, the first 2 volumes of Locke and Key, so that I was ready for the release of the Netflix show. And I gave I gave Volume 1, which is Welcome to Lovecraft, 4 stars, and Volume 2, which is Head Games, I think I gave, I'm just checking my Goodreads. Sorry, my internet's being very slow. I gave 5 stars, so I really enjoyed both of them. And then I finished off with a 2020 release. Locke and Key is written by Joe Hill and illustrated by Gabriel Rodriguez, so they are really interesting. And then I read a 2020 release, young adult dark contemporary called My Dog Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I gave this 3 stars. It's one of those things where I don't really agree a lot with the topic matter, and at times I found the way it was handled a bit jarring. So this basically follows sort of a Me Too situation where it's a relationship that was between a 15-year-old girl and her 40-year-old teacher, but another classmate came forward with similar accusations, and the whole thing was, the tagline is, all he did was fall in love with me and the world made him into a monster. So then she starts second guessing the situation. So it was good. I do think it's an important read, but it just kind of fell short on a couple of occasions for me. So that was My Dog Vanessa, so I'll also put a picture up here. And I'm still reading Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. So I'm about 30% of the way through it. this is good. I just put it down for some reason. So I will be hopefully getting to
Put it down to right now.
yeah, I put it down to edit some stuff, writing stuff. So this I hope will finish this month if I can get through all my readathon stuff. So I will taking part in Tone Topple as well as Demonathon. So I'll link my TBR if you're interested in either of those readathons. So yeah, so they're the books I read in January. Let me know what you read in January, and let's use our voices to create positive change in the world. Thank you and goodbye!